Hello, I'm John Galante, president of AE Ventures, the folks that produce the Tech Home Builder Summit. And welcome to our next multi-fam general session. Topic is what we're calling Tech to the Max in multifamily rental properties. Let me tell you a little bit about objective and how we're going to flow through this. So, I think I want to provide a little bit of a backgrounder here for starters. We heard from Tim Costello this morning, great keynote from Tim. We'll put the dance moves to the side. But we heard about the perfect storm for housing. And I think in many ways, it's a perfect storm for single family housing. And that the multifamily sector is not going to see the same sort of benefits that we're seeing for single family. The most recent housing stat pack that we put together pegged multifamily starts as being down more than 16% in 2020 and down a sliver of a percent in 2021. I was able to pop into some of the Zelman Associates session housing summit last week, and there was great information there. But one of the things that we heard from Ivy herself was that there's a lot of shovels in the ground already for multifamily projects, especially in urban centers. The money's there, the buildings are going to come out of the ground, and we're likely to see a lot of inventory on the market with not as many renters and buyers as what we had pre-pandemic. So I think we're headed for a competitive time in multifamily. And I don't have the research to back this up, but what my gut would tell me, and what I think we'll see as I walk through some of the information today, is that tech is going to figure strongly into competing for those renters. So given that as a premise or a need for this session, let me tell you how I put this information together and how we'll walk through it. I basically focused on the biggest in two ways. The biggest being some of the biggest multifamily companies, and it could be rental property operators, it could be developers and builders. I'm taking a look at what their tech offers are, and then I took a look at the 5 or 6 biggest metro markets and what tech looks like from a multifamily rental perspective there. So we'll walk through some of those examples. It'll be company by company, project by project, and then we'll do some analysis at the conclusion and try to understand what some of the common elements are, maybe what some of the unseized opportunities are. I'll give you a little bit of a structure for thinking through your tech play at the end as well. So it's meant to be an idea generator, kind of a frame, give you a framing device for what I think is going to be one of the key dimensions of competing as a multifamily rental company next few years here. So let's get started. So I talked about the biggest in two ways. So this is really about multifamily rental leaders. This is from the NMHC annual top 50 for 2020, and they look at 3 types of companies: the property managers, developers, and builders. And I picked 5 companies that play in various sectors here to see what we could discern about where they are on smart technologies in the properties. Let's move forward. There we go. We'll start with Alliance. So before I dig in on these, I do want to let you know that I have posted a poll in the poll section of the Pathable platform. And if you get a chance, please pop in there at some point during my presentation. At the conclusion, I want to kind of compare notes with you all on what you think the most essential technologies are in units and in shared spaces, and we'll see how that compares with my analysis. But if you get a chance to pop in there in the next 10 minutes, please do so. So we're going to start with Alliance here, and they are on the NMHC number 1 as a developer, number 2 as a builder, and number 4 as an operator. So operating 138,000 rental units in 2020. What I was able to find in online research is a description of Alliance Smart Home. And this is text just drawn directly from their website. So where they're headed here is utilizing Dwello as their platform provider, and Google/Nest really as the key technology partners, and functionality includes smart locks, smart lights, this is going to become a theme, smart thermostat, smart appliances typically via outlets, and the Dwello app. So with the Google Assistant piece, they do have the voice interface accomplished to the home automation functionality enabled by Dwello. You can see what their goals are there. Customer experience side of things, also looking at lower operating costs. A lot of times that's ensuing from the smart lock piece, which enables maintenance. There's also the benefits on the heating and cooling side of things with the smart thermostat in many cases. And the idea being that this is a start, and that there's a platform that additional feature sets can be built into. I think that covers Alliance's current approach to the smart home technology side of things. Moving on to Graystar. So Graystar is the number 1 operator with almost 500,000 units that it is managing. And this is something of breaking news. It was just earlier this month that they announced integration of Stratus IoT and Alexa for residential through Amazon for their technology play. And what it will entail is Echo Dots placed throughout the unit. They're pre-configured to interface with Stratus IoT, which is a control hub, but also has kind of the back office head-end functionality for the apartment operator as well. And the phase 1 launch is a 303 unit property in Denver, Colorado. Functionality featured there is the keyless entry, smart lights, the ever ambiguous more, and they were very strongly pumping up how this is integrated seamlessly with move in for activation and move out for deactivation. This particular play, at least at this point, seems like it's light on the hardware side of things, at least the built-in hardware side of things. It's about platform pre-programming and off-the-shelf devices. And that makes a heck of a lot of sense for Graystar with 500,000 units that they're operating, and to retrofit on a large scale with a lot of built-in components would take a long time and have a big cost component. So it's a strategy that seems to make sense for them. Okay, next up is LMC. LMC is number 4 on the developer side of things, number 12 as the builder, and they are not in the top 50 as a manager of properties. And I'm frankly not sure whether they do manage or whether they're strictly a merchant, a builder developer for others that manage the properties. But this is the most tech forward LMC element that I could find in my online research. This was called Axle. It's a downtown Seattle community, fully integrated smart home apartment community, which opened in December 2018 with 226 units. The feature set, Amazon Echo interface, Amazon in Seattle. How amazing. Sonos Play One networked audio, Ruckus wireless network access points, and Lutron Pico remote lighting control. So what kind of stands out to me here is that they're calling out a branded wireless network access point here, and the Sonos Play One piece. Now that's another not a built-in product, but I think as we go through the rest of these, you will see that these big players, and even in the big markets, the smaller players that had the most tech-forward plays, there wasn't a heck of a lot of call out of the networked audio piece, and I think that may be one of the unseized opportunities out there. It doesn't need to be architectural audio. We know that there are complications in terms of sound bleed through in walls in multifamily. But the Play One, non-installed freestanding type speakers is an interesting one. And again, I think a play that's maybe under optimized. We do a lot of work with the integration channel, which is all about built-in and wiring, and they've sold a heck of a lot of Sonos over the last 5 years. So I think it's interesting that that play was in place here. I also think the Ruckus wireless network piece kind of resonates with Lennar's Wi-Fi ready home in the single family side of things, and maybe that's why there's a specific branded call out there. On the shared space side of things, we've got big screen TVs in the dining and community rooms, and video conferencing ready co-working space. There is the community connections website, and then in the kind of conservation realm from a tech perspective, we've got a LEED Gold certified certification being pursued, as well as other strategies for energy savings, water use, and improved indoor air quality. So, pretty rich feature set here, and a little variation on the theme, tuned to Lennar's interest and emphasis on Wi-Fi, and I like that audio play. Okay, MAA. So this is actually an excerpt from their annual report, and I don't know that I've seen technology called out in an annual report for a public company on the multifamily builder operator side of things. So this was cool, and I thought you all might want to see it. So MAA's tech play was really tested in 2019, according to this report, in 15 properties. There they are with the lighting control thermostat, and when they're saying security, I'm assuming we're talking about locks. And their twist is leak monitoring as well, which is probably more so for the building than it is for the building itself than it is for the tenants. They are calling out the synergies on the OpEx side of things with repair and maintenance, and the ability to conserve energy when units are vacant. And you can see what their battle plan is here for 2020. They're going to look to install about 24,000 units in 2020. And MAA has 100,000 units that it manages. It's strictly a manager. It's not on the developer builder list in terms of NMHC. So that's about 25% of their managed units that they will be installing smart tech in. And then they have this interesting call out here on bulk internet, which appears to be bundled with their cable or video subscription services, and that they're testing in 2019 as they rolled this out at discounted prices to residents, appears to have had a nice impact on their net operating income. And other call outs here were more related to the kind of building management and maintenance side of things, as well as the digital marketing and sales side of things. So tech is evidently become, a very important business component to MAA, so much so that it's called out in their annual report. And this is the page before they begin the detailed financial breakdowns, financial performance breakdowns. Important to call out here that their platform provider is SmartRent. Okay, and then here we are with Mill Creek, which is number 6 as a developer, number 8 on the builder side of things, about 5,000 units developed and built in 2019. And this is their Modera in Hollywood, California property. I'm betting that this is a kind of a hard slide to read. I'll walk you through these arrows. The arrow pointing towards the star on the upper little excerpt there is about a studio. So a broadcast video / audio studio, which you can see pictured there in the lower left, is part of the amenities set. Online payment available through, I don't know how tech forward that is, but it is digital. They've got a call out for, hang on there with me. They've got a call out for their private conference rooms, for club room with a 12-foot TV video wall that's coming soon. And then their smart home technology package includes locks, a smart stat, smart blinds, and voice Wi-Fi calling. So that's Mill Creek, Modera, Hollywood, and the real differentiator there, and I guess it's because they're in Hollywood, is the studio for audio and video recording. All right, let's keep moving fast here. Okay, I told you we were going to cover some of the top 10. This is the top 10 consolidated metropolitan statistical areas. We're not going to go through all 10 of them, but we are going to cover the top 5 or 6. So New York City. I think an interesting thing that I would share with you on my weekend of research on this is that if you do a Google AdWords search, New York City smart apartments, mostly what comes up is aggregators like apartments.com, and just a couple in the biggest metropolitan area in the country, just a couple of actual developers / property operators, their own websites pop up. So it's interesting that there doesn't seem to be much of that digital advertising real estate that's been bought around the idea of smart apartment. So this was a very cool property that I found that really stood out. It's just one of 2 that was called out on the page 1 of the Google ad search, and it's called the Stanwicks in Nooklyn, which is a trendy name, skinny jeans name for an area of Brooklyn that's a converted industrial area that's becoming gentrified. And so this is not a big company that was involved with it. JCS Realty with about 20 full-time employees from what I was able to tell on LinkedIn searches and such, and the design and architecture done by ND Architecture and Design, fewer than 10 employees there. It's been, I think, less than a year since the property opened. They're 100% occupied. They have a call out on their website for home automation. And when you get there, you see these three pictures, these three cuts on the top here. One says it's living, and it says every unit includes smart lights, locks, and speakers. So that sounds like there's either an Echo or a Google Assistant speaker in there that's driving the control of the devices. In the kitchen, it must be Alexa, must be an Echo, because in the kitchen, they're calling out that Alexa can help you set timers and convert quarts to cups, etc. And then in the bedroom, they're calling out that optionally you can have smart blinds as well. So I think that's cool. They had a whole page called out here on the smart apartment. And then the co-working space is extensive. You can see it right in the center here. You know, lots of shared surface, workspace, screens. You know, I think it's not like defined video conferencing space, but you could certainly figure out a way to work in there with video conferencing. LA, again, just 2 properties. Their websites come up when you say Los Angeles Smart Home. This, you saw the Madera, which was actually developed by big builder Mill Creek. This is Alina, which was is developed and managed by Holland Residential, which is a big company, about $2 billion in annual revenues as of 2019. The apartment unit tech features Butterfly MX video entry access, SmartNest thermostat, MIWA keyless entry, and the property tech amenities, you know, media in all kinds of lounge space, a movie theater, business center and conference rooms, and on-site electrical vehicle charging. Chicago, again, smaller company, 35 to 50 employees. Tandem developed and managed this building, a property called Avenir. The apartment tech features. Now, the really cool thing here is the robotic furniture in select units. It's called Ori, and this whole unit slides back and forth to create a bedroom space or an expanded, you know, great room entertainment type space. So you'll want to go to that website and check out this robotic furniture piece, which is about taking a small space and making it more multifunctional. They've got keyless entry and they advertise the fastest internet in town. The co-working space here is substantial as well, car charging, and a demonstration kitchen with Renlita doors that open so it can be either an indoor or outdoor space. Washington, D.C., very little popped up here. The most tech-forward thing that popped up on the Google search was the Latrobe, which is managed by Aimco, and it has, you know, your pretty basic lights, locks, and thermostat control for that property. It's a retrofit, a renovation. And then for San Francisco and Boston, which are number 5 and number 6, the brand and the company is Crescent Heights. The brand is NEMA, and you know, I would say this is the company that's taking its opportunity to highlight tech, you know, most seriously. And from what I've seen in this, you know, survey of bigger companies and bigger markets, has the most, you know, robust offer. So they've built this lifestyle brand, NEMA. It's not just about tech, but tech is definitely part of the equation. And look at this feature set for the Boston property, which I had a chance to walk through in person. They've got touchless access control with RFID, ultra-fast fiber optic internet. They've got a creator suite with Apple big screen computers, a 3D printer in there. Their mobile app is very sophisticated in terms of, handle your administrative duties with the building, but also, scheduling, alerts on package pickups, the smart home ready apartments, lighting, smart thermostat. It's all compatible with Apple HomeKit, Google, and Amazon Alexa. They have smart elevators, guest Wi-Fi. They've integrated the audio systems in the shared space so that your personalized playlists can be brought in via Bluetooth. Really pretty substantial media and AV throughout the shared spaces. And they've got a robot that is touchlessly delivering to tenants as well. So really cool, sophisticated play by Crescent Heights under their NEMA brand. So, I am, of course, running out of time. It's my nature, but let me try to provide a little bit of an analysis on, what I'm seeing as common themes. And I'm going to use one of our merchandising tool sets, tech merchandising tool sets, which is the 7 central benefits of the tech home. And so let me walk through these. On the smart side of things, there obviously is a lot of use of home automation platforms, home automation that is enabling multiple devices to be controlled within the unit, but also has a feed through to the head end and is part of the efficiencies on the building side of things. That seems to be strongly used, and voice interfaces are extremely common. On the safety side of things, we got the smart locks. We didn't see it a lot, but in the info we walked through, but certainly surveillance and access control in the perimeter are ubiquitous. On the connected side of things, everyone recognizes the need for speed on the network, the video conferencing and co-work. The community apps are certainly alive on the green side of things, smart thermostats. I was surprised to not see tankless water heaters called out anywhere, because that is an energy bill saving feature that I realize in my own condominium, and I would have thought I'd see more of that. On the entertaining side of things, the shared space, the theaters are really very much reborn. Big screens, yes. I want to exhort everyone to have the big audio piece that goes with that, because 80% of the emotion in viewing television actually comes out of the audio, and there's so many great cost-effective, immersive ways to provide the big audio piece too. Don't overlook that. It's not just about what you can see. I think AV outdoors, there's a hell of a lot more that can be done there. It's being done in spades on the single family side of things, and it's certainly a part of the value prop for renter. On the in-unit side of things, boy, I hope power and signal cabling is going to the spots where TVs would hang, so that there's a good clean look there, and everything you need to get both streaming and streaming content and service provider content. The co-working piece is strongly addressed. I think the big miss is healthy, at least in terms of what's being advertised. Not seeing much on the air quality, water quality, the human-centric lighting, the whole wellness piece. You see the yoga studio, you see the fitness center, but really in terms of the environmental controls, I am not seeing that played much with technology for now. Hopefully that's something that's going to catch up in time. And then this is, I've got an XLS with the what I'm calling your planning grid, which takes the 7 benefit categories and looks at different areas of a multifamily space. I pre-populated it with some product sets. You can customize this for sure and maybe use it to make sure that you're not missing any opportunities, kind of a checklist to go through whether your tech play is robust or not. We do not have time to go over the survey, but the results will be up on the slide. This deck is on downloadable for you. This XLS is downloadable for you, and about 35 pages of notes that I gleaned to pull this information together are also at your disposal as downloads. So hope you enjoyed this session. I hope there are some good takeaways for you. Here's my name, number, and email address. If there's any questions or comments, or you want to add to the body of information around this, please feel free to do so. Thanks for your time today, and have a great rest of the day.